Empty spaces fill me up with holes. Distant faces with no place left to go. Without you within me, I can find no rest. Where I'm going is anybody's guess. I try to go on like I never knew you. I'm awake, but my world is half asleep. I pray for this heart to be unbroken, but without you, all I'm going to be is incomplete. Alright, everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko. When They Cry. Yeah, I kinda did something random right there. Hey, want something else pretty random? Fun fact, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox recently, and I say recently I mean 2 days ago, got engaged. Woohoo! Congratulations to them. Wonder how long that's gonna last. If you guys don't know who they are, Machine Gun Kelly had beef with Eminem like 2-3 years ago, similar to the beef this family is having right now over at the mansion. So yeah, fun facts from Emin of the day. The word is not gonna be a fun facts day either. But there's also Megan Fox. She, if you guys don't know who she is, she was in Transformers back when that came out in like 2007. I actually looked it up this time, and the reason why I say I actually looked it up this time, you know, the Transformers movie made in 2007, is I have a little bit of a message to say this part, and that is, very sadly, welcome back to Umineko, y'all. I've already recorded this part. Yep, I've recorded for an hour and 40 minutes. And for some reason the file got corrupted. I hope you guys are seeing this and this doesn't get corrupted as well. That would be very freaking ironic if it did get corrupted. The file got corrupted. It was an hour and 40 minutes. I thought it was an entertaining part. It was the most important part for me, and unfortunately it got corrupted. And what I'll say is this: I spent a lot of the part talking and not a lot on the actual story progression. So what I'm gonna do this time is, because I already know what's gonna happen, I'll say this: I finished off at the glass break, so at the end of this act or chapter or whatever, right? I think if I go through this without talking too much, we should get there in about 30 minutes. So if this part ends up being like a 30-minute, 40-minute ordeal, or even so a max 1 hour, rather than being 1 hour 30 or 1 hour 40 like it was supposed to be, then blame it on the file getting corrupted, because I talked for a long time. For you people who want this visual novel to be fast-paced and you want me to get through it quickly, then happy birthday to you. Unfortunately to me, this means that I have to spend some time going through stuff that I already have gone through. So I'll shut up because I know exactly what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes of this visual novel. I'll get to the bit where I ended off, you know, where I was supposed to end off this part before the file got corrupted. I didn't get too much further from this exact point, by the way, but there were some heavy stuff that happened that I really wish you guys could see my first reaction, but you can't, because I already know what happens, and it's unfortunate because I feel like my first reaction would have been good to see, but hopefully my file doesn't get corrupted in other important stuff that happens in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna read through it. Don't expect me to be as shocked in certain scenes that happens. You know, it's this. If you know all the reactions I have now, this is not really my authentic reaction anymore. Well, it is my authentic reaction, but it's my authentic second reaction after just having recorded a failed render part. I have no idea what happened. I don't know. File got corrupted. It sucks. Frick this. I hate it too. So yeah. Let's keep it going. I don't want to waste my time anymore. As you guys can see, I'm going through this effort because of you people watching. Alright, I've already experienced all of this. I already saved the game, the visual novel in the future, at the point where I got to. I've already saved at that point. but I always keep a save file from before, just in case something like this does happen. I'm doing this for you lot, so I hope you guys appreciate this. I could have just kept going and been like, haha, frick you guys. Nah, I'm gonna send you guys through in this journey, through this visual novel with me. And that means if this unfortunately happens, then you guys, I'm taking you guys with me. I'm taking you guys down the sinking ship with me, I guess. But at least for you guys, that this does mean that I'm gonna go through this, very quickly. Also, yes, that does include the whole Backstreet Boys intro, that singing that I just did. I did also do that last time, and the Megan Fox Machine Gun Kelly thing. I also did that last part. So you can see my annoyance here. But here we go. I'm only going to narrate and give out quick comments, or I'm gonna give you guys the TLDR comments that I gave last the original part. I'm gonna give you guys my original comment, but they're going to be much more shortened, and instead of me talking for 30 minutes like last time, I spent a long time talking at a certain point. I'll talk through it quickly and get through this part as quickly as possible for both my sake and for your sake. Hopefully this works out. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get going. I want to finish recording this part as quickly as possible. I hope you guys can understand my anger and my impatience to go through something that I just went through. And if I have to go through this one more time, then you'll know I'll be really angry. So here we go.
今、額にポタって来なかったかい？
え？どうだろうな。
As George Oniki rubbed his forehead, he looked up at the sky. Considering the color of the sky and the dampness of the air, raindrops could easily have started falling down at any moment. It also seemed like the wind had gotten a little stronger.
マリアポタッと来ない。マリアだけ来ない。
安心しろ。それに今夜になれば誰にも等しく大雨が降るだろうよ。
そうだね。そろそろ引き上げた方がいいかな。
Shannon-chan looked down at her watch. I completely forgot Shannon was in this part. I completely forgot. Oh man, yeah, Shannon was out here with us. I forgot. I read this just like 2 hours ago, by the way. I was just here recently. It wasn't that long ago, but my mind just forgot she existed. I guess it's good in a way. I just get reminded of stuff that happened at the start of the part. That, because this is the first thing I experienced, so it's more likely that I forget what happened at the start of a part than at the end, I'm more likely to remember what happened towards the end of a part, of a video that I make. It may already be well into the evening.
もう仕事に戻る時間かよ。
Yeah, Shannon, back to work.
はい。皆様と一緒で楽しい時間を過ごさせていただきました。ありがとうございました。
熊沢さんにクッキーをごちそうさまって伝えてね。さあみんな、片付けを手伝おう。
Shannon-chan declined our help, saying that this was a servant's job, but picking up a dropped fork before the waitress has to is like my purpose in life. We folded up the blanket, gathered up the trash, and helped to clean everything up. Yay.
そいつは逃がさないぜ。マリアより先にいただきだ。
To Maria, chasing after some trash that the strong winds had sent flying was just like an extension of our playtime. By the time we finished cleaning up, the wind had started blowing very strongly. It looked like a good chance to head back. Dude, thank goodness I did not get far story-wise in this corrupted part. Thank goodness. Oh my god, that's gonna help me so much get through this part quicker. Because goddamn, having to do all this again. I hope you guys, at least a tiny bit, understand my frustration. I mean, It is very frustrating. It is. I don't want any of my parts to ever be corrupted again. God damn it. Ah, annoying.
皆様のおかげで助かりました。
Because I hope you guys know, I genuinely put my all into these videos. I do. I put a lot of effort into like trying to make them as good as possible to watch and all that. So it is annoying. Because I felt when I finished recording, I was like, yes, this was a good video. God damn it.
ありがとうございました。
I hope you guys can appreciate this either way. Like I said, whatever.
もう本当に時間がないみたいだね。先に戻っていいよ。
George Aniki perceived from her hurried appearance that very little of her free time was left.
源氏さん、時間には厳しい人だからな。定時に持ち場についてないと厳しそうだぜ。
また後でね。お仕事頑張ってね。
はい。それでは失礼させていただきます。
After making a respectful bow, Shannon hurried off in the direction of the Rose Garden.
じゃあ俺たちもゲストハウスへ戻ろうぜ。テレビでも見てくつろがせてもらうさ。
Yeah, Maria, you're down for that, aren't you?
テレビ見る。
Yay, watch TV.
テレビ見る。
Ooh.
なら決まりだな。戻ってみんなで一緒にテレビでも見ようぜ。
Even Maria, who was still not tired of playing, agreed when she thought about watching TV. We headed up the gentle stairs and returned to the Rose Garden. The wind had become very strong and roses shook throughout the garden like ripples on water. This might be our last chance to see these beautiful roses. Tonight's typhoon is sure to ruin them.
バラ、今夜の風でやられちまうかもしれないな。
そうだな。バラたちもラッキーだったと思うぜ。台風の前にバトラたちを歓迎できたんだからよ。
花はいつか必ず散る。でもだからこそ咲き誇る今をめでることができるんじゃないかな。
そうだな。マリアもよく目に焼き付けとけ。今この瞬間が今年で一番のバラなんだぜ。
Yeah, burn this image, Maria.
目に焼き付ける。
Yeah. Right then, Maria suddenly clapped her hands. It looked like she had remembered something. Uh-huh. You remembered the flower we saw earlier? Yep.
マリアのバラ。
Yep, that specific rose that we tied up. God damn it, yo.
台風で飛ばされちゃう。
Yep. Yep. I remember this all too well.
ああ、ジョージの兄貴に目印のリボンをつけてもらった。
Sorry, I think I skipped over his line. God damn it. I'm getting a bit too impatient. I'm sorry. It seemed that Maria remembered where the rose was. My bad. Alright, she ran at full speed. Alright. The rest of us followed her. Alright. Maria, before we start this, are you sure that the rose is here? Are you sure, Maria? Please, if you're sure. If you're not sure. Man. Are you sure, Maria? Are you sure the rose is here? God damn it. God damn it.
あれはどこだったっけな。
Ah.
確かこの辺だったと思ったぜ。
Yeah, we searched everywhere around that area, but after all, it was only a single flower amongst all of these roses. Even though we knew it was somewhere close by, it wasn't proving easy to find. The winds that made up the front lines of the typhoon were making the roses throughout the garden undulate. It was almost like it was teasing us by making the location of Mario's rose impossible to find.
ここじゃなかったかな。少し手分けをして探してみようか。
See, that's what you say, but watch this. Watch this.
そうだな。
What? Wait, watch this.
人海戦術で行こうぜ。
Yeah, strength in numbers. Yeah, you say this.
Huh?
Watch.
なんだよマリオ。
As we made to split up and search, Maria tugged on my jacket with an unhappy face. It felt like her intention was to stop us from going to another place.
なんだよどうした？
Yep, see, this is what happens. Maria is so sure it's here.
ここにあるの。
でも現にないぜ。この花壇の裏側だったかもな。みんなで探せば早いぜ。
ここなの。マリアのバラはここなの。探して探して。
Maria stomped her feet in irritation. She was pointing at the spot, saying it was definitely there, yet it actually wasn't. And yet, if we went to go search elsewhere, she got mad. We were at a loss for what to do. For a while, we would have to stay with Maria and pretend to search through this rose thicket.
ないないない。
Maybe she's saying that it should be here, but isn't. Maria became increasingly ill-tempered.
参ったな。
Oh man!
マリアがすっかり機嫌を損ねちまったぞ。
マリアはたまにすごくどうでもいいことを気にし始めちゃうんだよ。それがどうにかなるときはいいんだけど。
ないものは探せないしね。困ったな。
Just as we were starting to despair for a way out of the situation, Maria shouted out loudly. There's the cry for mom. In the direction she was waving her hand, Auntie Rosa's figure was visible. Maybe she wanted to look at the garden one more time before the typhoon came. Or maybe she had some business at the guest house. Alright, so at this point in the corrupted recording, I was suspicious of this entire Rosa thing. I remember now, because I was suspicious because I thought Rosa was still back in the mansion, arguing with her siblings. So I found it very unnatural why she would suddenly come over here to the guest house. She had some business at the guest house. She wanted to look at the garden one more time. I found that to be sus. At this point, last part. So that's all I'll say for now. I remember this very vividly. Auntie Rosa was coming from the mansion. She quickly noticed her daughter's voice and came over.
あらあら。どうしたのみんな。
Sup, Rosa? Oh, you look awfully cheerful right now. You know, just like you typically are. Haha!
何か探し物なの？探して。ママもマリアのバラを探して。マリアのバラって？
この辺に元気のないバラを一つ見つけて、それに目印をつけたんです。
飴玉かなんかの包み紙でキュッと。しかしマリア、確か俺の記憶が正しけりゃすぐ手前の目立つところに生えてたはずだぜ。足が生えてどこかに行っちまったんじゃなきゃ他の場所だったと思うぜ。マリアの記憶違いじゃないのか？
ここなの。ここなの。パトラが信じてくれない。
So yeah, I'm not Neo from the Matrix, I don't believe.
その言うのをやめなさいって何度言ったらわかるの？
And yeah, Rosa starts getting mad at Maria for going ooh all the time. And yeah.
ママも探してあげるから静かにしなさい。
Yeah. I was a little surprised to see Auntie Rosa, who I had only ever seen as gentle, get angry. I was also surprised in the corrupted recording. Trust me, guys, I was. I'm not surprised now, but I was. Auntie Rosa began searching as well, so we went along with her for the time being. But we were already more than sure that it wasn't around here. And so, Auntie Rosa also realized very quickly that it wasn't here.
ここにはそのバラはないわよ。他の場所の間違いじゃない。これだけたくさんのバラがあるんだから。違うの。ここにあるの。ママも信じてくれない。ちゃんと信じて探してるでしょ。 でもないじゃない。でもここなの。ここにあるのにないの。じゃあ誰かが抜いちゃったんでしょ。
Dun dun dun.
とにかくその言うのやめなさい。
Yeah. And Rosa is now getting a bit more increasingly angry. Or I should just say she's getting increasingly angry. I don't know why I said that a bit more.
マリアのバラ抜いたの誰。抜いたの誰。
Fantastic question.
返して返して。
And she really went a lot, didn't she?
そんなの知らないわよ。やめなさい。その言うのやめなさい。
Yeah. Auntie Rosa slapped Maria's left cheek with her palm. See, at this point, last part, or in the corrupted part, I went somewhere along the lines of "Oh my God," or but like really loudly, like in a shocked way, because I was not expecting Rosa to actually slap Maria. I did not expect Rosa to do that. So trust me, guys. Imagine I'm very shocked right now. Wow! Holy crap! I can't believe she slapped Maria. Wow, that's crazy. For that instant, Maria was shocked into silence. Of course, it was only for an instant. When Maria realized that her wish was being rejected before it could be fulfilled, she started yelling with an increasingly louder voice. Yeah, I remember this bit. I was not expecting this from Rosa. I remember, I was like, holy crap. That's why, like, she went full here. She went full on, like, all the kids in your class make fun of you because you have the weird habit of going like, ooh. She slaps her one more time. Nuts, isn't it? It's nuts. Once again, her palm slapped Maria's cheek. This time she didn't go silent. She choked as she started crying and began to bawl in an increasingly louder voice. Auntie Rosa was clearly irritated and lifted her hand once more to try and shut her daughter up.
ローザおばさん。まあまあ、その小さい子供のことですし、そんなマジになんなくても。
I attempted to intervene with a forced smile and my hands clasped together, but the deadly serious look I was thrown by Auntie Rosa told me quickly that I shouldn't butt in.
ごめんね。バトラ君たちはちょっとお部屋に戻っててくれる？おばさんはマリアとちょっと話があるの。誰もマリアのバラを信じてくれない。ここにあったのに。探して探して。ここなの。ここにあったの。
So, here is where I make a little stop to talk about. I'll try to make this TLDR, but around this scene, I don't know if it was exactly here, but I went on for about 20 minutes about some of my own personal life and stuff like that. And when I talked about my personal life last part, I felt like you guys deserved to hear it because you guys have been sticking with me through this Umineko journey for over like 12, 13 parts. I don't know how long it's been since the start. You've been sticking with me for a while, so I thought you guys, I'll tell a bit about my past and stuff like that, and compare it with Battler and everyone else. I'll try to keep it short here, and I won't go into the same details I went back then. But basically, I might have mentioned this before about playing Umineko the visual novel, but here we go. Let's see. I don't really know how I began talking about this last part, but first things first, I began suspecting that Maria actually has some sort of condition, some sort of like a mental condition, or some sort of like something that was off, and it could have been anything. I don't know, like she not necessarily a stutter, but made some others like speech condition that made it hard for her to talk. This is what I started suspecting last part, by the way. And one of the conclusions I came up with that I thought was possible was autism. And until now, even now, I still think that it's possible that Maria has autism. And I said this based on my own experience because I am also a cousin. I also have a younger cousin. I am a similar age to Battler, as y'all may know. To George. I'm more closer in age to George than Battler. I think George is like 20, so yeah, I'm more like him. But you get the point. I'm basically their age. And I also have a younger cousin like Maria. I think a bit younger than Maria, and she also has autism. Now, we figured this out eventually, and I started suspecting, and first things first, I started losing respect for Rosa, for the way she was treating her, because I thought maybe if she did have this mental condition, then Rosa was being very harsh, right? Because I feel like Rosa should take her to a doctor or some sort of professional to have this, figured out. Does she have autism? Like, does she have some sort of speech problem that makes her go, oh, oh, before talking? Nobody believes in my Rose. Oh, like that. She's 9 years old, which, sorry for, I mean, I won't. I'm not gonna get into spoilers for stuff that happens this part, but stuff happens this part. I won't get into it. But all I'll say is, we've heard this before. How she was 3 years old when Battler met her 6 years ago, and now she's 9 years old because it's been 6 years. That's how maths work. And I also began talking about how I'll try to make this quick, guys. I also talked about how I, in a similar way with Battler, I also hadn't met my family for 8 years. So Battler 6 years, for me it was 8 years. I met my family in 2019 after 8 years of not meeting them because I last met them in 2011. So similarly to Battler, I went to meet all my aunts and uncles and stuff. And similar to Battler as well, I also have this big family. I talked about all of this last part. It's kind of annoying now how I have to repeat this, but oh well. I have this huge family as well. My family is even bigger than Battler's actually. I have a lot of aunts and uncles. I have two twin aunts. Twin aunts, I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, two of my aunts are twins, and most of them have children. They all have children, so yeah. And ironically enough, the youngest one of them, just like Rosa, also has a kid with autism. So very, I know, right? Very similar, very weird. And Battler, similar to Battler, my dad is also the third in line in the family, if that makes sense. He's the third child as well, similar to how Rudolph is the third child in the Shiromiya family. A lot of uncanny resemblances, as you guys can see, that I haven't mentioned in previous parts because I felt like, because I didn't want to really get in touch with my personal life too much, and it was like, but I did notice these similarities from before, and I feel like me and Battler's situation is very similar. I do think, however, that me and Battler are very different people, so that's something I wanted to make sure of. And also, as you guys should know as well, I'm not from some rich family like Battler where we visit each other once a year and our parents talk about rich business stuff. Obviously, I don't come from this rich family that owns a mansion. But to get back to the point, let's see, I'm trying to make this as quick as possible, but as you guys can imagine, all I'm saying right now, I said this in the span of 20 minutes. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible so we can get through this. But I'll say this again because it happened last part anyway, so you guys deserve to hear this anyway. Okay. Moreover, I also don't have the same relationship between me and my dad the same way Battler and Rudolph has it. Because Battler really dislikes Rudolph, but obviously I'm on good terms with my dad. I'm very good terms with my dad. So yeah, there's that. I wanted to make those similarities between my personal life and the Ushima family. I won't get into details why I hadn't met my my family, my close family, my cousins, my aunts and stuff, and uncles and stuff for 8 years. In Battler's case, it was because Rudolph remarried after his mom died to Kyrie, his stepmom. So he went to live with his grandparents. This did not happen to me. My biological mom is obviously still alive. My parents are happily married and all. But I also wanted to say that unlike Kinzo, who's you know how Kinzo's the grandfather in the Shiruma family, and his wife is dead. Kinzo's still alive, and I just compare that with my own family. How my grandfather is actually dead. He died several years before I was born, before my dad even got married. But my mom, my grandmom, I mean, is still alive. So it's kind of opposites there. And yeah, I was born several years later. I also mentioned how I talked a lot last part. I also mentioned how I didn't see. I don't know how my grandfather looks like, because I feel like my parents did, or my family did a poor job of taking pictures of him. There's only one picture where he poses similarly to the Beatles. No, I highly doubt my grandfather knew who the Beatles were, but he kind of like was walking in a crossroad similar to the Beatles. And you guys know the Beatles, picture thing where they're walking across, right? That was basically it, except it was from a different angle, and you could see my dad's face in the distance. And I tried to zoom in, I couldn't really see it, but as far as I know, my grandfather is supposed to look like my dad. So there's that. I think I basically summarized my family thing, and yeah. So I suspected Maria of having some sort of mental or speech condition that makes it hard for her to talk without going like or making like that. Not saying that it was 100% the case. I'm just saying it could be possible, and that Rosa might be too harsh and maybe ignorant on this type of stuff. And I did say that while I did lose respect for Rosa during the scene because she slapped Maria here, I did also say that that while I'll also stress, but like you shouldn't make make images of people with the way you imagine them, and then because then you're gonna get disappointed when you meet the other sides of them. Don't make an image of someone being like super kind and super nice and never does anything bad, because that person, when they show different side of them, you're going to start getting disappointed in them, because that's really where disappointment is rooted in, right? You have certain expectations of someone, you have a certain mental image of someone, and this is something that's true for all of us. And once you make that sort of image, once you see some of their bad sides, because some people are really good at not showing their bad sides to others, right? They're good at showing how kind of a person they are, or how good at socializing they are. They don't really show their insecurities. They're good at hiding it. And I said that. So while I lost respect for Rosa, I also said that Rosa should act of her own accord. So while I don't think Rosa should be treating Maria like this, I said that I also think Rosa should do what she feels like she should do, and she shouldn't act according to my expectations of her, or my image of her, or anyone's image of her, because she is who she is and she should do what she wants. I just gave my own personal advice that she should, that if Maria does have autism or something like that, then I feel like the way Rose is acting right now is wrong. So I feel like I've said everything. Basically, the TLDR'd everything that I talked about in the corrupted video file. If this video file is corrupted as well, I won't be saying that again. So, if you guys are watching this, and this has been uploaded and you guys are watching this, be lucky that you got to hear all of that, because I'm not doing this again. And I'm not gonna mention this. I'm not gonna mention this in any future parts, unless I might do it at the very end retroactively. But I'm not going to mention any more personal matters again. So you guys are lucky to be able to experience this, to be able to hear me say all of this, because I wanted to share this with all the people who've been watching Umineko with me, along with me for this entire period of time, from the start until now. So I wanted to show some appreciation. All right, I think that was basically all I had to say, and let's just continue till we reach the glass break, and I'll end the part there. So yeah.
でもないじゃない。なら他の場所の勘違いでしょ。
ここなの。絶対にここなの。
じゃあなくなっちゃったのよ。諦めなさい。
どうしてマリアのバラがなくなっちゃうの？どうして
知らないわよ、そんなの。だからそのを言うのをやめなさい。
Auntie Rosa once again raised her hand and, overrun by emotion, slapped Maria's cheek. I also want to say, great job on the voice acting from Rosa and Maria here. Their voice actresses did a fantastic job with this. That's another thing I wanted to mention. It was so strong it knocked Maria over. Yeah, so earlier on I want to say, when I said that I feel like Rosa went too far and I thought she was being too harsh to Maria, this is what I meant. She knocked Maria over. This is what I meant when she said she got too far. She went too far. But by this point I was like, oh, holy crap. When I was reacting to this originally. But you know, the first two slaps I thought were more acceptable. But slapping her to the point of legit knocking her over, that's when I personally felt like, yeah, you're going too far. So, yeah, and you can...
ローザおばさん、いくら娘でも暴力はいけねっすよ。
I stepped between them to protect Maria, who was still on the ground crying. I know that problems between parent and child are none of my business as an outsider, but I wasn't brought up to just silently observe something like this.
バトラ君は変に思わないの？あなたの学校にうなってる女の子なんている？
いや、まあさすがに高校には。
Obviously, you can't compare Battler's situation to Maria's, and if Maria's behavioral ways come from, like I said, some sort of mental or speech condition, that would explain everything in a way that would leave you as the bad parent, at least in my opinion.
でも小学生ならそういう言うのも可愛いじゃないですか。
Oh yeah.
可愛い。
Yeah, I remember Rosa not liking him saying this.
言うのが可愛い？可愛いって？
It seemed that my reckless words had brought Auntie Rosa's wrath down upon me. She grabbed my collar with a terrifying expression.
バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。マリアがいくつか知ってる？
She's 9 years old.
9歳よ。
Yeah.
小学4年生なのよ。
I know, I do know. This is what I meant earlier. I was scared of I mean, this is not a spoiler. We already know she's 9 years old. Because I mentioned it before in the story. But I'd actually forgotten it. And now they, you know, repeated it to make sure we remember it properly. Which is why I was like, earlier, because I was nervous. Like, I mean, it's not really like a spoiler, but you get the point. We know now she's 9 years old, officially 4th grader.
幼稚園児じゃないのよ。それなのに、まだクラスで言ってるのよ。
Like I said, I'm still against Rosa in this case. However, well, you'll see in a second.
わかる？
Yeah, I understand.
この子、クラスでなんて言っていじめられてるか知ってるの？この変な口癖のせいで、未だに友達の一人もいないのよ。無責任にマリアのこと可愛いとか言って、現実から目をそらさないで。この子の将来のことをもっともっと真剣に考えて。
This is some great voice acting, I just want to say. Dude, these voice actresses, and like Kinzo's voice actor, and Rosa's voice actress, and Eva, and all, like they should voice act like everything. They should voice act. I hope they voice act a lot of stuff, because they are really freaking good. They're doing a fantastic job. Look, you can feel the emotion in Maria's cries. You can feel the emotion in Rosa's screams. I feel it, even though I already know this is all gonna happen, because I've already seen all of this. I can still feel the emotions. That's kind of wild. Yeah. By this point, I was like, "Holy crap! Rosa's going too far." Definitely, I was like, "You've hit her while she's on the ground again." Yeah. And again she hits her on the ground. Auntie Rosa struck Maria's quivering head, from which an increasingly unsatisfied voice was rising. So, you guys can decide whether you agree or disagree with me that Rosa's not done the best parenting in this situation. If we consider that my condition, that my theory about Maria having some sort of speech problems, that she can't help, regardless of her age, then you can see why I'm saying that Rose is being too unfair here and being not the greatest parent. Now, again, I don't know if the visual novel might confirm what I'm saying, right or wrong, in the future. We shall see. But for now, I've made my comments about this. So, yeah. She hit her again. Hit her again. I tried to stop her, but she thrust me away. My back collided with George Aniki.
昔はローザおばさんもマリアちゃんの幼児言葉の一つだくらいにしか思わなかったんだけど、小学校の中学年になっても治らないのを最近はだいぶ気にしてて。
別にどういう言葉遣いをしようと関係ねえ。
そのまま社会人にはなれないよ。だから見ていて気持ちのいい光景ではないけれど、これはおばさんたち親子の問題なんだよ。
See, this is the part that I disagreed with. I remember disagreeing with this bit. But George does make a good point. I just disagree with this bit. You can't become a proper member of society like that. That's something I disagree with. So you're telling me people who can't speak can't become a proper member of society? Come on now. Maria can speak to some bit, and I think that even people with speech impairments or something like that can still be a proper member of society. Now, if Maria isn't a proper, it doesn't have those issues. Again, she can still learn to properly speak eventually. So, I think that either way, whether my theory is right or wrong, I still think Rosa's being too harsh. And as you guys know, if you've seen previous parts, I'm a big Rosa fan. I still think she's my favorite character. Despite what she's doing right now, which I think is not great, I very much disagree with her. I still think she's my favorite character. So I don't disagree with this bit, but as you can see here, George makes a really good point.
まあ、私もこの言葉遣いのせいでよくお袋に怒られるけどよ。
You'll see what I mean in a second. If you look at it that way, maybe an outsider shouldn't interfere with this, even though it's painful to watch.
バトラ君だって小さい頃悪い癖が治らなくて怒られたことがあったんじゃないかい？
Of course, we all did. Just and while I did get beat up for it, if I was lying on the ground crying, I wouldn't get hit again. It didn't go that far. It didn't feel like I never felt like it went that far. It could have, but I don't remember it going that far. Even though I was hit, just like Maria, I was slapped and hit as well.
まあ一つや二つは授業参観の日に人前でずっと怒られてた時は恥ずかしくてたまらなかったぜ。
じゃあ今のマリアちゃんたちの気持ちはわかるよね。
And this is the point where I absolutely agree with George. I think he makes a fantastic point here. Watch.
僕たちにここにいてほしいとは思わないんじゃないかな。
Yes. And this is where I agree with George. Like, if I was Maria, I would not want these three, my cousins, to be right here, right now. I wouldn't want that.
ジェシカちゃんにもわかるよね。
Yep, and this is where I think George makes a good point, makes a really good counterpoint to my argument of we should be trying to stop Rosa, or we shouldn't be letting Rosa just do this. This is a good counter argument, is that consider Maria's feelings, the one who's actually being hit here, the one we're supposed to be trying to defend here. What would she want? Would she rather us trying to defend her, or would she rather us just leave her alone for now so she doesn't get further embarrassed? And this is why I think George makes a really good point here. So while I disagree with what he said earlier on the specific member of society point, I agree with him here.
怒られてるところを誰かに見られてとは思わないぜ。
Exactly. That's fair to bring up.
行こう。ゲストハウスへ戻ろう。そしてマリアちゃんが戻ってきたら
Let's act like nothing happened.
何事もなかったかのように迎えてあげようよ。
Yep.
それが 一番じゃないかい。
We thought that George Aniki's point was probably correct, and if we could use that correct sounding reason to justify retreat from this painful scene, that was probably enough for us. Jessica and I nodded at George Aniki and we all left. We called towards Marianne that we were going to head to the guest house, but since it didn't seem to reach her ears, we felt guilty and shameless even saying it.
それなら好きなだけ一人で探しなさい。ママは知りません。
探す。マリアが一人で探す。ママが知らなくても探す。
勝手にしなさい。
After blasting her with those last few words, Rosa spun on her heels and quickly returned to the mansion. Maria probably viewed that as a cold, hurtful gesture, but from Rosa's perspective, that was not her intention. It was because the hand which she had so emotionally struck Maria's cheek with was still numb. Yes, and this is the point where I began to forgive Rosa a tiny bit, mostly because she's my favorite character so far. So this is why I began forgiving her a tiny bit. It was because if she stayed there screaming, she might again be taken over by her emotions and continue slapping her daughter's cheek over and over. Exactly. So this is the point where I started forgiving Rosa for seeing that slapping her daughter over and over isn't good parenting. Like if she understands that what she's doing, like, I don't know, isn't the right way to go about it, and then I feel like that's the first step in an important direction for her, for Rosa, in my opinion, and for her daughter, obviously. After Rosa left, only Maria was left in the rose garden all alone. The wind began to blow stronger and stronger, and every once in a while a raindrop would fall on her forehead. However, Maria couldn't leave that place, not until she found a poor withering rose. It had definitely been there, and yet it wasn't there. Even though she knew the place, and even though this was it, it wasn't there. Maria, bitterly staring at the place it was supposed to be, thought frantically. Maybe the angle I'm looking from is wrong. Maybe the height I'm looking from is wrong. While gazing at a single point, Maria repeatedly changed her position and continued to stare. The wind was getting increasingly stronger, but Maria kept on looking for that rose in front of the flower bed. And we move on from Maria and the rest, and we go on to the study. Kenzo noticed the sound of the raindrops beating on the window. It had finally started to rain. It had begun later than the weather report had predicted. Kenzo, as if being summoned by the sound of the rain, approached the window. The sound of the rain is a sound of silence. That sound feels quieter than any silence and makes humans remember that, in the end, they are alone from when they are born to when they die. Were those words directed at the rainy sky? No one could be seen in the direction of Kinzo's gaze. Witch in Gold. The song that's currently playing is called Witch in Gold Kembalo or Sembalo. I don't know how to pronounce that.
私とお前の奇跡。今こそこの島は現世より切り離された。もう誰も私の儀式の邪魔をすることはできぬ。お前にふさわしい生贄は十分にあるぞ。
Sacrifices
息子たちが4人。
and their partners.
その伴侶が3人。
Well, few of them, because Rosa's husband isn't here. If you guys remember, Rosa's husband is somewhere else. Definitely not here. And his grandchildren.
孫たちが4人。
Plenty of sacrifices.
私に客に使用人たち。どれでも好きなだけ食らうがいい。運命の鍵は悪魔のルーレットに従い生贄を選ぶであろう。そのルーレットが私を選ぶならば、 私すらもお前の生贄となろう。だが、だからこそなのだ。それだけの狂気をかけるからこそ、私は必ずや偉大な奇跡を起こすだろう。さあ、好きなだけ食らうがいい。私はそのルーレットに打ち勝つだろう。
Also, just want to mention, I mentioned this during the corrupted part, but I forgot to mention it here. Sorry about that. Kinzo also has this crest here. Now, if you guys remember, Eva mentioned something about a wing crest that the Ushiromiya family has, and you can see Kinzo has it. If you stare closely at Battler's dress, or at Jessica, or at Maria, or at Rosa, or at George, you can go back in the video. This is a YouTube video, so you can go back and check. They all have this wing figure drawing in their clothes. And Eva mentioned how all the blood-related Ushiromiya family have it, but people like Natsuhi don't have this in their clothes. And Eva made fun of Natsuhi because she didn't have it. So there's that. That's a little detail I wanted to mention. Kinzo obviously has it. He's the big man, but the other, if you look closely at the other, at his children and his grandchildren, they all have this crest. Well, actually, I haven't checked. I don't, because I remember the fact that this crest existed during the corrupted part. So I haven't yet checked where this crest necessarily lies in Rudolph's clothes, or in what's his name, Krause's clothes, or in Eva's clothes. No, Eva had it. I'm pretty sure. But again, we'll eventually get to those characters as well and see if they also have this wing drawing thing. Yeah, that's basically the last thing I think I wanted to mention. The last important thing from the last part I wanted to mention. From here on out, let's keep on going until we reach the screen break.
さあ、すべてを落とすぞ。まずは後ろ宮家の家督を返そう。受け取るがいい。
As Kinzo violently opened the window, he ripped the golden ring from his finger and forcefully threw it away. At that moment, thunder resounded, giving the illusion that the lightning had accepted the ring.
そしてお前が蘇った時、そこにいるのは私であるだろう。私が最後まで生き残り、お前の目覚めを見守るだろう。さあ来たれ、ベアトリーチェ。ようこそ我が宴。私が生み出したすべてと引き換えに、私にもう一度だけ奇跡を見せておくれ。
Welcome to the banquet in Whole Cake Island. It's Big Mom time.
おー、ベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice! That's it. Screen break. There it is! And hopefully this was recorded. This is where I ended off at 6. It's gonna be 6 p.m. Alright. This is also where I ended off last part. So at this point in time, woohoo, you guys are caught up with me. I mean, yeah, first things first, let's go back to the guest house. There it is. Wait. A new sticker popped up on top of the TV program we were watching. The disaster report told how municipalities all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. There it is. Officially, you guys are caught up with me. There it is. That's it. That's literally it. Man. So, this was basically the entire corrupted recording, except it was 40 minutes longer. But 40 minutes longer, and my reaction to Rosa slapping Maria multiple times has unfortunately been lost. Well, my official original reaction. If this reaction gets lost as well, I will rage quit. Maybe one day I'll stop having a potato laptop and I'll actually get a good PC that can record stuff, and then we'll be all good. But okay, I'm praying that this is recorded so I can keep the visual novel. If I have to do this all over again, you guys, I hope you guys, if you guys are watching this and this didn't get corrupted, imagine this video, you guys watching this video, imagine it being 40 minutes longer because I talked so much more, and in turn, hurt my throat so much more. Imagine now if this video got corrupted right now. Imagine you guys have watched this entire video. Imagine this video got corrupted right now and I have to do this that you're watching right now all over again. I mean, if you guys are hearing this, that means I didn't have to. But imagine it got corrupted again and I have to do this all over again. Imagine the pain. I really don't want to do that. At that point, I won't be giving any of the information that I gave this part. I really just won't. I'll just get on with it. I'll actually just get on with it and record. Because, or I guess at that point, right, like there's some form of problem with my recording setup because of potato laptop. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm really tired. It's late. I'm recording late. I basically recorded 2 parts here, remember. I was only supposed to record 1 part, not 2. I was then supposed to go to sleep, so... yeah. That was unsuccessful. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I would appreciate it if for my efforts, for my frustration, please. If you wanna, like, either leave a like or comment, I would appreciate that. That would make my day. That would make... all this effort worth it. I am tired. My throat hurts for talking so much the last almost 3 hours. I pray this gets recorded. Go listen to Incomplete by Backstreet Boys if you want to. Listen to the song that I sang in the beginning again. Because without you, all I'm going to be is incomplete. It's raining outside. It seems like the sacrifices have been prepared by Kinzo. So it seems like Kinzo knows what's about to happen. You know. I'll see you guys next time if we get any more sacrifice talk. Hope you guys enjoyed this part. Freaking pray to everything that is holy, to everything that is kind, to everything that gives kindness, that this has actually been recorded. I'll meet you guys next time. Alright, y'all. Please. Please be recorded. Please. Bye bye, y'all. Peace.